I'm Robert Field, and I am fishing my way across all 50 states while living in an RV full-time. This time, we're wrapping up an incredible week here in the White Mountains of Arizona. But before we get out of here, we're exploring some new water to hopefully catch and cook up some local trout. You're watching Field Trips with Robert Field. Hey guys, welcome back to Field Trips, and welcome back once again to the great state of Arizona, to Apache National Forest, the White Mountains. This place has been incredible so far. If you've been following along with this series, we started off, we got here, we fished with Cinda Howard. She took us out in a drift boat on a lake. We caught multiple species of trout. Then she took us and taught us how to fly fish the rivers around here. The mission here has been to catch Apache trout. They're only found in 3 rivers in the entire world, all right here in this part of the country, in this part of the state. Last time, that was the mission, Apache trout. We struggled, it was a challenge. The conditions are not perfect. We caught a bunch of browns along the way, and finally, at the end of the day, I bagged out my Apache trout, scratched that species off the bucket list. So incredible, so rewarding. But before we get out of Arizona, everyone here has been talking about keeping trout, eating trout. It's a big part of the culture here, and so we want to taste a couple local Arizona rainbow trout. So the mission today, we've got a lead on a couple spots. We're about to go hike down below the dam here on River Reservoir in Greer, right in the middle of Apache National Forest. We're gonna hike down the river with the fly rods and see if we can't catch a couple rainbow trout to take home for dinner and cook them up for you guys. We don't know if this spot doesn't work out. We got some backup plans, but we're feeling good, we're feeling confident. It's time to get rigged up, get down there, see if we can make this happen. Before we rig up flies, let's get down there and look what this water looks like, because we really don't know what we're getting into. I'm gonna wait till we get down there and scope it out, see how fast it is, how deep it is. All right, so we're gonna hike down here, find the dam here at River Reservoir, and hopefully there's a pretty obvious trail to get down below it. We'll see, we're really kind of winging this. Pretty lake.
Yeah. It's like a postcard.
It's windy today. I'm glad we're not kayaking this lake.
Yeah, hopefully this works out.
Oh, I see the discharge down there.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Watch your step.
All right, so we made it below the dam. We got the discharge here, bringing out a decent amount of water, but like Brooks was saying, a lot of times below this, you expect kind of a deep hole, and that's not at all what we got here. It's super shallow, not what we expected. So we're gonna have to hike further down, but basically this reminds me a lot of Broken Bow, another place that I fish for trout in Oklahoma, where the only reason there that trout can live year round is that the river is fed by water coming out of the dam out of Broken Bow Reservoir at the bottom of the water column, at the bottom of the lake. And so that water is cold year round, and it makes the river cold year round, and these trout need that to survive. And this is the same kind of thing where you can tell this discharge coming out of the bottom of River Reservoir, and that's gonna keep this water cold year round and hopefully sustain a good rainbow trout population that we're about to go catch. We'll see, but this is too shallow. Maybe tiny trout could be living in this, but this is not what we're looking for. So we're gonna hike down, see if this deepens up, maybe swifts up a little bit. I don't know what it's gonna end up looking like, but hopefully not this. This is not it.
Not too bad.
Oh, that looks good. Drop off right there. Right behind that boulder. This looks good here.
Yeah. Probably catch one right there.
Yeah, we should hit that.
Maybe 2. Oh, God! Dude, I think he ate the hopper.
You net it? Dude,
yeah.
That's a big one. Take your time. Stud trout, bro.
Oh! Oh, don't go down.
Oh man, that's a good one. Don't leave his head in the water.
Huh?
Just take your time. It's big fish, dude. Light rod. Wow, big fish.
There's current too, man.
Might be a rainbow.
Don't need to go down?
No. Oh God.
Oh.
Try to keep him up off that. Just be careful, take your time. It's a rainbow.
Yes.
Nice. That's a rainbow, dude. That's dinner. My man.
Dude, that was wild.
You literally said, I'm just gonna go ahead and catch this one real quick. Is that cool? And you cast in there and there it is. That's a big freaking rainbow, dude. No way. We're fishing the Little Colorado below River Reservoir in Greer. A new spot. We were told there were some big rainbows in here, and look at this, first fish to hand.
Dude, that was chaos too.
That was chaos. This water is ripping. On the 4-weight fiberglass rod.
Dinner is served.
That's it.
Dinner.
All right, so we came down here with a mission to catch dinner, and right away, Brooks nabs one of the bigger trout of the trip, maybe the biggest trout of the trip, a rainbow trout, here below River Reservoir in this fast, gorgeous little stretch of river. We weren't sure if this is where we needed to be, but sure enough it is. So mission accomplished, we got dinner. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this guy out of his misery. We're gonna kill it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and gut it. And then we brought a little stringer. We're gonna tie it off to something and leave it in the river. And we're gonna keep doing some fishing, but catch and release after this. You can keep 4 trout per person per day here, but we don't wanna keep more than we need. Trout don't typically freeze well. And so we're just gonna take what we need for dinner tonight and we're gonna put the rest back. But super clutch from Brooks. Let's put this guy out of his misery. All right, now he's done suffering. Take that, I got a field trips knife. Oh yeah. My sister got me that. And now, we're gonna open up his gut cavity.
This is the first cloud I've seen in 4 days.
Right? So we're gonna open up that gut cavity. And basically, we're just gonna rip out all the guts. We're gonna return that into the river, return those nutrients into the ecosystem. Other fish and crawfish and all kinds of stuff will feed on the intestines and stomach and everything else so that none of this goes to waste. I believe that's the liver. Now the other thing you got to do with trout, we've got all that out of there, but if you notice here, there's this like dark line that runs right there under the rib cage. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
That is basically a bloodline. We need to slice this open with the knife, and then, oh dude, his heart's still beating.
Oh wow.
I just felt it. Look at that.
Dang.
Talk about as fresh as it gets. I need to get that out of there.
That was the last beat.
That's gonna do it. And so basically, you just take your fingernails, kind of gross, and you scrape this out, and that's what you're getting out of there. It's a bloodline. You do not want that in your meat. We're gonna make sure we get all that out. And there we go. Now, we're gonna hold on to her tight because they're slippery even when they're deceased. We'll just give her a good rinse. And there we have it. That's gonna be fantastic. Lean, organic protein. Look at the color on it. Beautiful. Way to go, Brooks, man.
Nice.
That's gonna be dinner. Food always tastes better when you harvest it yourself. That's gonna be fantastic. And then we've got this little stringer here that we're gonna use just to keep it in the water to basically keep it cool. Because it is a little warm today down here in this spot. And there we have it. That's dinner, bud.
That's dinner, bud.
Good stuff. This is when the black bear is gonna come charging.
Send it.
I just had a hit.
Oh, come here, come here, come here. A little bit more. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Come on, buddy. Back up. There we go. Where you at? Nice! On the hopper!
Sick, dude. You got another one?
Yeah, dude. Hopper already came out, but...
On the hopper, huh?
Yeah, right up to that little... That was prettier if you ask me.
Oh, beautiful.
It's got more pink in it.
Yep.
Not quite as beat up.
Yeah. Sweet, dude. Brooks with another fish out of the same spot, huh?
Same spot, a little bit up from it.
Just a little bit up.
I mean, we'd gone away for a little while, not very long, but it worked once, might as well try it again.
Yeah. Came back to it and found another one. Beautiful.
Yeah, man. Now we got a real dinner.
Yeah. Got one for each of us now. Sweet, man. You got them dialed here. Both on the hopper, huh? On the topwater.
Yeah.
Wow. It's obviously a good little spot.
I think the bigger ones, well, I kind of thought about that too. I was like, you know, once you plug one out, if it's a good spot,
They'll come back.
We're away for 30, 45 minutes or whatever, and like maybe it'll fill in with a different fish.
There it is.
It's kind of how bass do. I was just using river knowledge. Looking forward to eating these later.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for catching dinner.
Thanks for bringing me.
So look at this, we're cleaning up the second trout that Brooks caught, and as I'm gutting it, this just started coming out of his mouth. Oh, some kind of little bait fish, or maybe even a juvenile trout, which tells me that we could probably catch some of these fish on streamers, which imitate bait fish.
Yeah, man.
And cook that guy up too for dinner?
Go ahead, toss it in right now, sashimi.
That'll be the appetizer, yeah. It's good to know what some of these guys are eating. I mean, I'm sure he's also full of bugs. Pretty cool to get some evidence of what these guys are feeding on in this river. Nice job, man.
Thanks, dude.
Now we each got a little rainbow trout plate.
You gonna turn me into a fly fisherman or a trout fisherman yet?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't really like keeping them too often, but we gotta try. We gotta each try one while we're here in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Man, this looks like rattlesnake country around here, and they are around here. Gotta make noise, just try to scare them off, and at the same time not move too fast so they don't have time to get out of the way. But you want to stomp, they can feel the vibrations. Oh, I got a big pool down here. Whoa, I see big fish. What are those, carp or something? There's some big fish. There's no way that's trout. Got him. No! Oh. Sure enough, it ate the nymph. That was a big fish. Oh, I can't believe I screwed that up. Setting downstream is tricky. Oh my God, it ate it again. Oh, I've missed it twice. All right, well, I know there are more fish in here. I might have spooked them all out, but I'm gonna make a few more flicks in here and then go back upstream and find Brooksy, see what he's been getting into. Just did a fly change. Let's see if this one entices a bigger fish, or maybe even a brown trout, or maybe even one of these 20-pound carp that are swimming in here. There's 3 of them. Saw them clear as day. Blows my mind that carp live in here and are that big. I guess they can get upriver too. But I gotta believe they spend most of their time in this deep hole here. Got him. Got him. Oh! It's going airborne. Whoa! Oh, decent fish. Decent fish. Man, I've been working this little slower pool for a while now. Multiple fly changes, but I saw fish in here. Let's see if I can get this guy to hand. Oh. Come here. Got him, got him, got him. Sweet. Oh, that feels good. I worked hard for you, buddy. Feels good to work hard, change flies, get some feedback. I missed 2 bites. Broke off twice. I've been just committed to this little pool. Beautiful. Beautiful rainbow. Brooks already got 2 on the day, and there's 1 for me. Whew. So fun. She was going airborne, going crazy. That was wild. I don't know where Brooks is. He's still further upriver. We'll just send this girl on her way. Pew! And there she goes. Out of this deep hole. Those are carp right there. Big fish right there. I didn't think there were carp in this thing. Woo, big ones. Man, if they hit the fly on the 5-weight, that'd be an adventure. Oh yeah. Beautiful day to be alive. Beautiful day to be in Arizona.
You don't want B-roll of you and your feather?
Got him. Little guy.
Not a rainbow.
That's not a rainbow. Dude, it's an Apache.
No way. What?
It's an Apache.
How do you catch 2 Apache in 8?
No way.
Dude.
No way.
So, to answer my question about...
They do get through.
Yeah.
Pretty good one.
These would be potentially native or...
Wild, I don't know.
Wild?
He's pretty big. I'll be damned. There's another Apache trout. So pretty funny, we're actually done filming for this project. After spending 8 days trying to catch an Apache trout, we came here and not even knowing they're in here, flicked a fly behind a boulder and sure enough, pulled out another Apache trout. Kind of almost like takes away from what a monumental accomplishment it felt like the first time, but this place is sweet, you guys. Arizona, the White Mountains, come check it out. Yee, 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 yee.
It's also like, you know, once you get the monkey off your back, like
yeah, first one's the hardest.
You know?
Sick. Well, we were a little worried. We saw an osprey circling around. We were a little worried we were going to come back and our bounty was going to be taken, but successful little grocery shopping mission. I mean, we came down here to keep a trout or two, and Brooks just bagged it out in like the first 10 minutes. Couldn't have gone better. Not often I go fly fishing to keep fish, but we're here. A ton of people come here to cook fish. So we're gonna cook these guys up. We'll get home, figure out how we're gonna do it. But these are gonna be delicious. As fresh as it gets.
Can't wait, man.
Now we gotta hike out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if I'm being honest, Brooks and I are on cloud 9 right now. We had a couple goals to get for the content for the tourism board and fishing game and for the content for you guys. And Apache trout was the main one, and it was looking bleak up on West Baldy last episode. We ended up getting that done and we were feeling so good. And then we said, let's swing for the fences. We really wanted to catch a couple rainbow trout to cook them up for you guys. And the local information was a little bit conflicting. We weren't sure if we were doing the right thing. We had a couple options, and you just have to make the call on these trips. We have limited time. We went down there below River Reservoir. Brooks banged out 2 rainbow trout right off the bat. Just could not have gone better. We're feeling so good. It was looking real bleak. That was our last day of fishing, and we got it done. Got everything we needed done. It just feels really good. But now it's time to cook up these rainbow trout, to taste, to reap the benefits of our work here. But one thing that I didn't do riverside to prepare these trout to be cooked was scale them. So that's the first thing we gotta do right now. I gotta scale these fish, and they make all kind of descaling tools out there, fancy little gadgets. I like a spoon. Let's get this done. That is some organic, lean protein, you guys. And food always tastes better when you harvested it yourself. I'm excited for this. All right, so basically, if you have a small enough trout, you don't even need to descale it. The scales are so small, it's no big deal. But these rainbows that Brooks caught are actually pretty decent size. But I'm essentially gonna take this spoon and we're just gonna scrape against the grain. We're gonna get them off there because the skin is good to eat. And not only is it good to eat, it's where a lot of the minerals and vitamins and nutrition on these fish is. It's in the skin. A lot of omega-3s and that sort of thing. It's really good for you. And to me, most of the flavor in the fish is in the skin. So I want to eat the skin, but I don't want to be eating scales. And you definitely want to do this outside. Probably don't want to do this in your kitchen. If you're married, you may not be for long. The wife's not gonna be happy. This makes a mess.
This might be the coolest backdrop for cleaning fish I've seen in a while.
Look where we're living right now, you guys. This is our backyard. We had a couple horses come up. Just beautiful, you guys. Living life. What a place. What a fishery. What a trip.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect. Got the scales off. Now we're gonna rinse these guys off over here. I got a little outdoor hose shower thing. It's gonna work perfectly for rinsing off these fish. And then we'll show you how we're gonna cook them up. It's gonna be fantastic.
Bro, we're about to start a cooking channel.
Oh yeah. Hit me up, Paula Dean. All right, so those trout are sitting outside drying out. You want them to be dry before we cook them. Now, the key to cooking trout whole is butter, really. We're gonna jazz up our butter and make a garlicky, herby, lemony butter. We're gonna take salted butter, we're gonna take lemon juice, minced garlic, and we've got some long leaf parsley and some rosemary. We're gonna chop up the herbs real fine and mix that with the minced garlic into the butter. Mix it all together, make this just delicious butter concoction. And then we're gonna let that rest in the fridge and chill a little bit while we get everything else together. Okay, so the basic plan for these trout, we are going to essentially pan sear, pan fry these trout. We're gonna do it in a cast iron skillet on the outdoor kitchen here in the Keystone Cougar. But first thing, we need to score these fish. So to let it cook evenly and also to get some of this garlic herb butter down in the flesh, we're gonna make 3 simple slices into the flesh to score just one side of this fish. Then we're gonna take our garlic herb delicious butter that we did, we're gonna smear that into each of the scores, each of the slits that we've created on the skin. And we're also gonna put some up inside the gut cavity that we cleaned out yesterday on the side of the river. And then the last step we're gonna do is we're gonna take a very, very light dusting of flour, all-purpose flour, on the skin on both sides. And what that's gonna do is it's essentially gonna help the skin kind of hold up. It's gonna give it a nice crust, a nice crisp. And that way when we flip the fish, the skin is very delicate on these trout and it'll tend to stick to the pan and separate before you get done. And I'm telling you, you want to eat the skin on these fish. The flour is gonna give it a nice crust and help keep that skin, help it hold up as we flip this fish. All right, it's go time. Start off with the big guy. Still looking for that sizzle. He barely fits. You caught too big a trout, Brooks. So this is the biggest cast iron I've been able to find, and it's not quite big enough for these fish. Okay, so we're putting on there at super high heat, and then we're gonna cover it. We're gonna let that go now for about 5 or 6 minutes, and that depends on the size of your fish. All right, it's been about 5.5 minutes, and they're looking good. Look at that. That's what we're looking for. That butter has melted, and I can see already that down below there, it's browning nice. So now we're gonna flip them. This is gonna be our one flip. This is the key. Can't flip them more than once, and you wanna be real delicate when you flip them so they don't fall apart. I think it's gonna be no problem. Here we go. Look at that. That's what you want. Nice and brown, crispy. I can feel it. That looks fantastic. This trout's too big, Brooks. You really messed up.
My bad, man.
Perfect. Now we're gonna cover them back up. Let them cook for another 6 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna plate this all fancy, really for you guys, but you don't have to do this. We're gonna start, we got some basmati rice, some white rice. We're gonna just make a kind of a mountain here in the middle of this platter. And now I feel like, unlike some catch and cooks, we're actually gonna eat this food because we're starving. We're gonna do a little salt and pepper on the rice. And we got asparagus, some big stalks. Man, it looks beautiful. And now really just to make the plate look pretty, we got some sliced lemons and some rosemary we're gonna throw on here. Because these are the flavors we used. Oh, that means the fish is done. All right. I think this fish is done, look at that. We're gonna take the little guy first and stick him on here just like that. We'll take the big guy second. Lay him just like that. Whew, that looks good. Shut this off. Last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little bit of lemon and just squeeze it onto this fish. And look at that. That's a plate you can serve your friends, your family.
and they're going to be impressed. They're going to think you're a 5-star chef, and it really was not difficult at all. All right, you guys, what a spread. What a beautiful spread. Thanks to Brooks, the man behind the camera for this whole series. I can't do these kinds of trips without him. He's not just an incredible videographer, but just a true friend, and we've been having such a blast struggling our way through figuring out this fly fishing, and it all worked out just like we hoped. Pretty crazy, actually. But let's dig into this. So, again, the skin is not just edible, it's the good part. So I'm just gonna dive in here.
The skin is your friend.
The meat is just flaking off. It's got this beautiful color. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you go buy salmon at the grocery store, they have it's color added. They try to fake it to make it look pink like that. But you come out here and catch your own rainbow trout, and that's just the way God made them. But when they're farmed, they lose that color and they have to add it. But look at that, just beautiful chunk of meat. There's a couple bones in there. You do have to be careful, but the nice thing about rainbow trout is the bones are tiny. That's gonna be a good bite of food right there. Oh yeah. Buddy, you're in for a treat. That garlic butter has like soaked into the flesh. It's buttery, it's garlicky, it's got the herb notes. It's so good, and I'll tell you, all the flavor is in the skin. A lot of people want to fillet their fish. Get rid of the skin and the bones. The bones, especially on a rainbow trout, are so easy to pick around, and the skin is truly where all the flavor is. If you ditch the skin, it's gonna just taste like any old fish, really. That is fantastic.
So you're saying it's like fried chicken?
It's like fried chicken. You want that chicken skin. See, there's these little tiny pin bones. You wanna watch for those, you guys. It doesn't get any better. You're in for a treat, Brooks. This is good.
What's the way to do this then? Like,
I would go on the back, kind of the back strap,
okay,
and the thickest part to start.
All right.
Brooksy here, a little taste test.
Mm.
Look at that.
That's it.
Does not get any fresher.
It's not even like fishy at all.
Not even a little bit.
Good texture. Good flavor.
That's no salt, no pepper, no nothing. That's the fish with some butter and herbs. Not bad. Not bad at all. Little skin, man, hit it up.
No, I mean, this is what I do with my fried chicken.
The skin's where all the flavor's at. I love the skin.
That's good.
As long as you cook it right. As long as you scale it.
You can keep filming, I'm gonna keep eating.
Look at this spread, brother. What a way to end this trip.
We're just getting here and get a little bit of this.
Look at this.
A little of this. Actually, a little rice with it is like, you know what I'm saying? That's good.
Thanks for everything, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
dude, appreciate you.
Making this trip just a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
It hasn't all been easy, but it's all been fun.
It went fast.
That's right.
I can't believe it's over.
It always does. All right.
Well, let's get after it.
Let's dig in.
Yeah.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. Well, you guys, what an incredible trip here, exploring the White Mountains of Arizona. Really did not know what to expect, and what I did expect was completely blown out of the water. This place is not at all what I think of when I think of Arizona. And there are plenty of world-renowned, nationwide renowned trout fisheries around the country, the big names. This place is not that, and so at the same time, it is such a hidden gem, but it requires respect from anglers like us, not taking more than you need. We caught more rainbows, we released them. We caught Apaches, which we're allowed to keep, browns, brookies, which we're allowed to keep, but we chose not to.
Cutthroat.
At some point, cutthroat, I forgot about the giant cutthroat we caught.
Yeah.
At some point, just because you can keep it, it doesn't mean that you should. Protect these resources so that for generations to come, people like you, like your kids, can come out here and explore this wild place, one of the few truly wild places left in the country, I think. Let's leave it the way we found it. What a treat, what a week. I mean, everything we wanted to do, we accomplished. It was not easy, we worked hard. Brooks and I were both joking, like, we're getting too old for this. Like, I mean, we're hiking with heavy packs all day, every day in search of these fish.
Waking up sore and groaning, moaning,
Yeah.
taking my vitamin I, aka ibuprofen every day.
That's right.
Like,
That's right.
it hurt.
But in the end, it was worth it.
100%.
What an incredible meal. What an incredible way to end this trip. You guys, if you want to come out here to Arizona, there are plenty of resources. I'll link down in the description. Check out Visit Arizona. They've got a ton of resources to get you out here, bring your family out here. There's plenty to do besides fishing. We obviously focused on the fishing because that's what we do, but there is so much more to do here in the White Mountains, in Apache National Forest, in eastern Arizona. This place has just blown my mind, truly. Man, thank you for everything, Brooks.
Yeah, thank you.
What a trip, what a place, what a day, what a meal, what a vibe.
To Arizona.
To Arizona. All right, enough of that. Dig in.
Man, you forgot about them cutthroat.
I don't know.
Them big cutties.
It was the first fish I caught. Feels like a lifetime ago. It was a week
does,
ago.
man.
Not even.
This place is cool and we just barely touched the surface.
That's it. It's one of those places you can't just spend a week. And now that we know what we're doing,
Saw elk, saw
elk,
bighorn, pronghorn.
we saw all kinds of animals.
Yeah.
The wildlife here is out of this world. Oh, would the rice combo require a fork?
No, not if you're not scared.
Not if you're motivated. Just a little bit of this. You waste so much meat, and Americans are so scared that like, I don't want to pick around the bones, and I'm gonna have to.
I literally picked it, and all the bones stayed.
That's it. It's like if you cook it right, the bones stay behind. Now there's a few species that do make that a little tougher. I thought I had a good grasp on what Arizona was about, and then we came here and all that was shattered on day one. And now I just think like, imagine what more there is to explore in Arizona that I probably think I have an idea, but don't. We've literally just touched.
I mean, like this lemon, it's like all we've hit.
And this is the right,
Yeah, like,
right. We haven't even scratched the surface, like you said. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's gonna do it for my time here in the White Mountains and Apache National Forest in Arizona. What an incredible trip. Took Brooks to the airport yesterday to fly him home out of Flagstaff. Realized I was just an hour and a half from the Grand Canyon. Said, hey, can't come this close and not go check it out. So I went and checked out the Grand Canyon yesterday, spent a few hours hiking around. Just incredible, worth the trip for sure. But just got the Keystone Cougar, my home on wheels, all hitched up, ready to hit the road. I am heading to Taos, New Mexico, to Taos Ski Valley to meet up with a good buddy of mine, Jeff Sherwood, who, if you've been watching the show for a long time, I did some episodes with him up in Michigan. He now helps run something for the ski resort in Taos, New Mexico. New Mexico is the next state on my list. Time to hit the road. Ciao, guys. Thanks so much for following. I hope you enjoyed this series, something totally different. What a treat. I had no idea. Arizona, you guys. Visit arizona.org. If you want to come check it out, plan a trip for your family, for your buddies, or just for yourself. Cannot recommend at least this part of the state enough. Till next week, guys, thanks so much for all the support. I love you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like it. Time to get this show on the road.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long till I'm back at the farm. I'm rolling up the truck, down at the dock. It's time to do some cruising, baby, get a little stuck. It's a Saturday.